Council meeting number 860, so I therefore call it to order. As per our tradition, I will open with a prayer. Heavenly Father, grant that we who would seek to serve you may have the wisdom of your Spirit, the guiding of your hand, and the grace to serve together for the prosperity of our city, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. National Anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is God by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, all beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Please be seated. Councillors, I've been into several functions, as you'll see in my mayor's report. There's 47 different functions, but that includes our acting mayor and Councillor Gates attending as well. But in some of the functions, I find it interesting. Even the Filipinos functioned, they sang the second chorus of our national anthem. And even though I know it, I wasn't very fluent. But just a thought is that let me know over the break. I'm thinking that the first meeting in January, I'd like to get to see how to find the recording, and so that we join in the second verse. If anyone's uncomfortable with that, send me an email. But for me anyway, I will have the words up for the second verse in lieu of the flag. We've got the flag there already, and just that when we represent the city and they have the second verse there, I want to be able to sing it with gusto and confidence. So let me know if there's a bit of don't want to do that because of time constraint or whatever it may be. But that's what I like to have a crack at. All right. Okay, attendance and apologies. Nil, leave of absence. Councillor Patterson was granted leave of absence, so therefore she's not here. Condolence motion, I go to Councillor Tozer first.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I move that a motion of condolence be passed and a message of sympathy be forwarded to Jan Atkins and her family on the passing of Ross Atkins.
Okay, seconder, Councillor O'Neill.
Mr Mayor, Ross Atkins was a developer in Division 9. He was one of the catalysers of the Canterbury Downs development in Benogan and was one of the start. He was the very much the catalyser of what is now Skyridge, which is soon to be home to about 10,000 new Gold Coasters. His work in bringing some disparate groups together to see that communities start to be developed, and we're seeing now, I think there's about 300 families who are living in there now. It has a big future, and it's appropriate and notable that Ross has passed recently, and he should be acknowledged by our city for that contribution. Mr Mayor.
Councillor, put to the vote. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. Councillors, it's my honour to do the condolence motion for Paul Taylor. A lot of times I don't stick to the script, but for today I'm going to stick to the script because I've got a feeling that I'd lose it otherwise. Losing someone close to you is never easy. And for those here in the chamber today, and for many people across Gold Coast and indeed Australia, the passing of Councillor Paul Taylor has left us with heavy hearts. Paul was a loyal and trusted counsellor, but he also was a good friend to many. Humble yet decisive in his action, I know his first love was always his family. To Yvonne and the Taylor families include son Councillor Darren Taylor, my thoughts and those of Mayoress Ruth is with you. Paul's work spoke for itself. His passion for his division, his drive to deliver for residents, and his genuine belief that local government should always be about people. After his retirement in 2020, I had the pleasure of joining him, cold beer, of course, at his beloved Corowa Surf Club. It wasn't the only time, but that's the first time I joined him there. And you can only had to witness the banter and camaraderie and all the jokes when he was there, to see how fellow club members and the Corowa executives cherish his company. And he has achieved so much as longest serving president. Paul brought good humour and a steady hand to every challenge. He was a loyal friend who never sought the spotlight, but his quiet strength made this city a better place. On behalf of all councillors and the people of the Gold Coast, I extend my condolences. Anyone else wants to Councillor Tozer?
Mr. Mayor, I had the privilege of attending Paul's funeral the other day, and I thought it was entirely appropriate that remark about how much joy was at that funeral. I think often we think about going to a funeral and it was sad, and obviously we're grieving the loss of someone we care about. But at the funeral, there was just so many jokes and laughter, and that's the Paul Taylor I remember. I remember sitting next to him at one point in time. Division 9 and Division 10 sat next to each other, and he loved his job and took the job quite seriously, but never took himself too seriously. And I think he would have, not that you can possibly enjoy your own funeral, but I think he would have laughed. And I think that's my recollection of serving with him, a man who really cared about the city, but didn't take things too seriously, and really loved a good laugh and a good joke around with his mates. And I was privileged to sit next to him for long enough to hopefully be called a mate during that season. So thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor O'Neill.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. And I too attended Paul's funeral, and it was a really lovely, lovely event. Just wanted to share that when I came in 2016, along with Councillor Pauline Young, Paul and Yvonne took us under their wing at any event that we went to and made us feel welcome, especially in the northern part of the city, well, the middle of the city now we call it, but where we didn't know a lot of people, but certainly he introduced us to a lot of people and just treated us like family. So your description of him putting family first is definitely correct. Thank you.
Yeah. Councillors, in line with Councillor Tozer's comment about joy during the funeral, I've got the video that was played at the funeral I'd like to share, not just with all of you, but for all the people who are watching. Councillor Darren Taylor, I edited the last half a minute so that I don't cop the OAI. Play the video, please.
Sound.
Is there sound with this? Can you find the sound and we can start again? That's better.
Walk the fields, you've led the game through supporting your family in sporting, building your business, and through the years, leading your city's growth with care. A guiding hand so strong, so true, a Father's love in all you do. A man of pride in all you gave. You lived it your way. From far away, a boy of 4, to Victoria first, then the Gold Coast shore. In 7-7, you found your home, this great city where your spirit roams. Your surf club mates, your laughter loud, your heart of gold has made us proud. A leader loved, we all can say, you lived it your way. With one fine son and daughters too, and to a loving wife so true. A grandfather, a great one too. Your love and pride shine through and through. We stand as one, your voice we hear, your strength and wisdom always near. A father's love forever stays. You lived it your way. For all the love you've shown, for all the seeds you've sown, a father grand and great, we celebrate your faith. Through all you gave, come what may, you lived it your way.
Councillor Darren Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Sorry.
Take your time. Councillor Gates like to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm having a little weep as well because what a great man. And just to show what a guy he was, only a week before Paul passed away, he called me from Cairns, which was the last spot that he and Yvonne holiday. And he called me to see how I was doing because of my husband's recent struggles. And always concerned about someone other than himself. And during that conversation, he told me that he hadn't been well and that he'd lost 7 kilos, but I had no idea that he was as unwell as he was. But what a great tribute everyone paid to him at his funeral. And it was just something I'm glad I didn't miss because it was a very, very wonderful tribute. And my condolences personally to Yvonne and the family. They've done an amazing job in holding it together, and I especially want to say how well Darren did on the day to get through it. It's a little more difficult in this chamber with your colleagues to hold it together, but we all loved your dad, Darren, very, very deeply, and appreciate what he did for the city.
Thank you, Councillor Gates, and thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I apologise. Look, I think the motion for me was he loved the city in this room. Yourself, his colleagues, people around the city of Gold Coast. And he loved the community and he did it all his life. And sitting in this room today really brings that to my heart. He was a passionate man. He was a tough man, but he did love everyone. And everyone that worked in this room would see both sides of Dad. He had 2 sides. He was a larrikin. He was a serious man, and he took his job seriously. And the city of Gold Coast was very high in his life. He loved it. He inspired. And to be in this room, I still remember sitting the day he had to retire because of the health issues. Looking back from the outside in, he did love this place, and he did loved all his colleagues and everyone in the room and everyone who worked in the city, everyone out there. So on behalf of Mum my kids, my whole family. We just want to thank everyone in this room, everyone in the city, all his colleagues and friends. Thank you very much.
Good on you, mate. All right. Councillor, I move the motion. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried.
Mr Mayor, may be added to the motion. Condolence, please.
Yeah, Councillor Tozer. Anyone don't want to be added? All right, add everyone. I remember when I first came in as mayor in 2012, and I think the first condolences, and I went, we got to change the local law 1 and put condolences last. Because you got to gather yourself again. But no, I was wrong. It's good to have reflect on that, and it makes it much more meaningful why we're all here today. So with that, councillors, mayoral minute. There's 47 items and 24 pages. So relax. I'm giving you an executive version, so starting from Wednesday, 27th of August.
Sorry, Mr Mayor, should we do the mayoral minute first, or should we go to the mayoral report?
Mayoral minute? I misread it. Yeah, okay, let's do a mayoral minute.
Okay, how about we do
quicker. That? Thank you,
Well,
Councillor
Mr Mayor, you are chairing the meeting, so I'm happy to go to whatever order you like.
I know, it's good. Councillors, key to the city. I circulated the mayoral minute. There's prelude onto that, and the amount of work and contribution and generosity's already been highlighted there. My mayoral minute, councillors, that the mayor writes to Mr. James Frizelle to formally offer him the honour of key to the city of the Gold Coast. Anyone to speak against? Let's put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried, unanimous. Second mayoral minute, councillors. It was circulated, and the motion reads: 1, to note the cessation of Ms. Kathy Baker as role as A, ex officio director of ARRC, B, chair of ARRC Organics. 2, to endorse the appointment of Mr. Brent Brogan to ex officio director of ARRC, B, ex officio director of chair of Organic. And 3, that the control entities unit updates the relevant corporate register, noting ASIC, and ensure all governance documentation reflect these changes. It's always part of the plan, councillors. Anyone speak against? Put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried, unanimous. Confirmation of minutes. Move that the minutes be tabled. Seconder, Councillor Hamill. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. Councillors, any amendments to the minutes? No, someone like to move for adoption? Councillor Hamill. Seconder, Councillor Tozer. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. Councillors, Mayor's report, executive summary. This will be part of the report, so you can go into more detail. 27th August, I did a live cross on Channel 9 Today Show to mark the launch of the Experience Gold Coast Get Up and Gold Coast campaign. You saw the video and presentation, the report back that it really went very good. 2026 Gold Coast show. I had the pleasure of opening the 18th Gold Coast show at the Broadwater Parklands, Southport, and another successful show. So pleased that we saved it, councillors. Queensland State Government decision on Stage 4 light rail. The Deputy Premier announced the Stage 4 light rail will not proceed with Stage 4. and I provide a statement outlining several key concerns regarding this decision. Okay, I accept the decision. They quote 9.8 billion. I'll be asking for the that estimate cost breakdown because I can go through it as an engineer. Love to see that. But the main thing is, I'll quote the Premier: "No solution is not an option." So therefore, I'm looking at the solution of multi-mode solution for the southern part of our city and east-west connection. They're talking about metro type bus and things, but either way, if it's just additional buses to do, I think that would fall short to expectation of first class public transport. And I would say, and I've already had a meeting with Transport Minister and voiced my opinion on all that. So they're working hard on providing a solution. I did say do it quickly because May and June, Stage 3 will be opened and it'll be very well used, and the people in Burleigh we're going to be going, well, we went through all the pain, here's the gain, and why is it stopping here? We want to go further. Councillors, then 2nd September, Gold Coast Sun live site. So we did that came together at Hotter, and congratulations to the Suns for winning that game. Meet and greet with Junior Council Executive on the 3rd of September, and then the Australian Mayor's Summit Against Anti-Semitism, 3rd of September again, and we had mayors from all over the world, 300 guests from different nations, and really it's about the hating of the Jewish community. In summary, my speech was that back then, 3rd September, I just said, real simple, release the hostages, and that's congratulations to President Trump. That's happened, so we all want peace there. Sydney 2000 Olympic 25-year celebration. So we did that, and meeting with Mayor of Tainan here. So continue to have good cooperation with our sister city, and we're sharing tourism ideas, climate resilient and smart city development. And I ask Councillor Hamill to go to item 9.
Mr Mayor, on the 17th of September, it was my pleasure to be over with the local disaster control centre for our tsunami response exercise. So privileged to be there with 150 officers from 10 different agencies running through what is a low risk for the city of a tsunami, but a really interesting exercise to test and stretch our thinking on how we respond to disasters in general in the city. Mr Mayor, it was really an incredibly interesting couple of days, and I really enjoyed the time over there understanding how the LDC works better. And we'd just like to finish by making the point that while that building and those facilities are brilliant, it's the calibre of people that we have in there that make all the difference, and we are so blessed as a city to have the best of the best in that building, and are well set up now for tsunami, but have also touched and updated some of our sub-plans for other disasters as well. Mr Mayor, also on the 7th of September, it was a pleasure to join Liesl Jones, Lehman Spider over on Triple M. Spider has made some claims of being king of the north in the city, which I thought needed to be tested. I thought outrageous as well. I knew that Spider was scared of heights, so I thought, well, we'll put a bit of a test here, and I'll suggest to him that if you want to be king of the north, you need to get up as high as you can and survey the entire north. The only place high enough was the Giant Drop, thinking he would cow it out because it's up in heights. But to the big fella's credit, while he was actually too tall to go on the ride, there's a height limit of how tall you can be, Spider and I ended up doing the internal staircase up inside the Giant Drop, which is 39 flights of stairs internally. Absolutely amazing view. But yes, I'm happy to commit that for now until I come up with the next challenge that Spider's the king of the north for now. Mr Mayor, on the 18th of September, it was my absolute pleasure to announce the City Nature-Based Tourism Grant recipients, the first 13. Always brilliant to get out the Boomerang Farm and get out into the start of the hinterland. It was my absolute pleasure to announce the first 13 recipients who have received just over $550,000 allocated between those programs. Brilliant to hear what some of those first programs are looking like. In this first set, one of the main criteria was that we need this new content and new opportunities to be online within 12 months. So brilliant to meet with a few of the grant recipients and hear how they intend to make that happen. Mr Mayor, we were strongly oversubscribed for the first round, so I think it's fair to say that the opportunities with future rounds to increase nature-based tourism content in the city is incredibly strong, and we look forward as a city to seeing further announcements in this space in the future. Also had the pleasure on the 18th of September of announcing the 2025 Mayor's Technology and Innovation Awards that the voting had opened. The Gold Coasters had an opportunity to vote for their favourite of 10 shortlisted projects through the Experience Gold Coast website. The shortlisted projects represented the top 10 bold ideas of Gold Coast high school students tackling issues such as vaping, flooding, ocean health and driver safety. Mr Mayor, public voting is gone until 30th of October and the winners were announced at Bond University on the 5th of October. These awards are about recognising our city's brightest young minds and nurturing the next generation of Gold Coast change makers and innovators. Mr Mayor, the next item is about the Mayor's Seniors Concert, so we'll pass over to not a senior councillor, but just a councillor, into Councillor Gates.
He's very funny.
You're qualified.
Very funny. Mr Mayor, I was really honoured to launch the Seniors Concerts on the 13th of September. The concerts, of course, were on Monday of this week and, as always, were very, very well attended. I know that you opened the first concert, Mr Mayor, and then I did the next two. And I have to confess that in welcoming all of the seniors along, I said, I actually don't know why I'm doing this today, and I was really delighted when the Mayor suggested that I might like to make a welcome to all the seniors, but I said I very quickly realised that it's because I'm a very well-qualified senior. So Councillor Hamill's right, yes, I'm old, so I got to open the seniors concerts. But it was a great day. Putting on the glitz was the theme, and everyone had a huge smile on their face, which was what we wanted to see in Seniors Month. So it was a very great day for all.
Oh, wonderful. Councillor Hamill?
Ageing like a fine red wine, Councillor Gates, is Mr Mayor. Mr Mayor, it was my absolute pleasure on the 18th of September to join Councillor Tozer out at the Convention Centre for the 2025 National Landcare Conference. There was 500 attendees in attendance to this year's conference, which is the first time ever that it's been held on the Gold Coast. The biannual conference offers an opportunity for land carers and those engaged in agriculture and natural resource management to discover and share best practice innovations, stories and forge partnerships and bring fresh ideas back to their workplace and communities. The conference ran from the 21st to the 24th of September and was hosted by ABC presenter Costa. Mr Mayor, the City of Gold Coast was a proud sponsor of the Landcare Conference and proudly supports Landcare through programs like Naturally GC, which builds volunteer partnerships for land restoration along with private land conservation efforts through the Nature Conservation Assistance Program. We also lead one of the nation's largest ecological restoration programs and acquire land to safeguard critical habitats. Mr Mayor, it'd be very fair to say that in talking with attendees at the conference, once they had the opportunity to talk with some of our city officers about the range of things the city does in this space, that attendees were absolutely blown away. None of them have an experience with a local government that does so much in this space. So I think there are a lot of other local governments around the country that a lot of these attendees, both from the volunteer sector, the agriculture sector and the local government sector, are going back and saying, hey, like, we're getting outdone here big time by the Gold Coast. So very proud to be getting that kind of feedback that to everyone in this very important sector, they saw us at the pinnacle for local government of investment in this space and the programs and thinking. Again, Mr Mayor, I'd make the point that the money in the programs is one thing, but what really shone through was officers like Soraya Robinson and DJ and the team that were there during the conference, that the feedback I got about the quality of officers we have and their passion in the sector was absolutely brilliant.
Excellent.
Mr Mayor, the 22nd of September, it was my absolute pleasure to do the media call for the 2025 Boost Mobile Gold Coast 500. It was the 4 weeks to go at that stage. Pleasure to join the Supercar CEO, James Warburton, Boost Mobile CEO, Bobby Geldens, drivers Bobby Koletsky, James Courtney, Bryce Fullwood, Jackson Evans and James Golding. This year's Boost Mobile Gold Coast 500 takes place from the 24th and the 6th of October, so getting very, very close, Mr Mayor. This still remains Queensland's largest annual sporting event, injecting millions in the local economy, with an expectation of 200,000 ticketed attendees at this year's event. This year's event also features 2 huge nights of music with international DJ Groove Armada set to take over, and we're also backed up by the Stafford brothers and Brooke Evers to get the party started on the Friday night. Mr Mayor, as with every event in our city, it's filling hotel rooms, it's putting bums in seats in local cafes and restaurants, and it's keeping locals employed. And I think on the back of the disappointment of not having the Pacific Air Show this year, that the appetite in Main Beach and Surfers Paradise for an absolutely huge supercars event this year is absolutely there. And as long as the weather holds out, I think it's going to be one of the biggest ones to date.
Yeah. Sometime raining at the last 10 laps is not bad. Vale, Bill Laver, flag was at half-mast across the city on the 23rd of September. My condolences to his family and friends and councillors. The memories of his enormous contribution to our city will live on. So 23rd, same day, Queensland State of the State address by the Premier. And so I was up there in Brisbane, had the pleasure of catching up with Mayor of Mount Isa and Mayor of Ipswich. During the Premier's address, laid out his vision for the government in the years ahead and set out their early achievement in improving law and order, health and housing. Then the CEO Service and Excellence Award. A lot of council attended. Councillor Fowler, Wilkinson, Lacastra, Doran, Martin were there. And congratulations to Vicky Watkins, Coordinator of Web and Digital Marketing, was awarded Employee of the Year. And congratulations to all award recipients and nominees. Wonder Reef documentation, a bit surprised, but Ocean Film Festival wanted to do an interview about Wonder Reef. So I thought, well, why not let the world know about it? And then the Boats Works visit, as usual. Every time I go out there, Councillor Gates was always there as well. Just in case they try to kidnap me, she can step in and stop it. And I joined Tony Longhurst for a tour of the Boat Works. And it's good to know that all approvals are in place. And but when you look around, it's multi-million-dollar industry, and 1,000 people on this site alone, and daily, and that generates $1 million a day in wages. Striking Gold podcast. There's a new podcast there. I was asked to being interviewed. Happy to do so, and so. Those people in the social media, if you want to tune in, you can. Morning breakfast interviews addressing US tariff on film industry and e-bike on the Today Show, did that. Jai Opataya World Title Fight launched at Hotta, 6 September. That was, what was that, the title fight will take place on Sunday, the 6th of September. All right. So, this should be December. What's that? They got me there. All right. So, see you there, Five fans. Councillor Castro, I'll make sure you're sitting next to me so you can tell me what's going on. Brisbane 2032 board meeting was held at Toowoomba, in line with the gardens up there. Look at those beautiful, look at that photo with Mayor of Sunshine Coast, Rosanna. That's all. And we make it look like a good couple there. To both host city to the 2032 games. Mooncake Festival. Councillor Patterson was in attendance. Chinatown, they are just having a bit of a tea ceremony, and Chinatown, a lot of people, Chinatown's moving now, so it's taking a while, but that's normal for Chinatown. It's sort of organically grow. 2025 Gold Coast Disaster Emergency Management Preparedness Forum. I opened the forum, I spoke on it, and there's a video there, am I right? Let's hit the video. Today's the launch of Get Ready campaign. One thing we know, Mother Nature can hit us anytime, but doesn't stop us as Gold Coasters and as a city to get ready and be prepared.
The idea is to bring everyone onto the same page. So the agencies bring their latest updates, the city brings their updates to make sure that we're ready to go forward together as a coordinated group leading into the season.
It enables us to start those discussions with our key partners around, what do we need to have in place, what plans do we need, what opportunities are there to start to explore our capabilities and how we can support each other and the council in delivering safety for the Gold Coast community.
What the cost of living in a beautiful subtropic climate that we do here on the Gold Coast is Mother Nature can get angry at times. So we just want to make sure that we're ready and we're ready at that multi-agency. So whether it be a bushfire in the next week or flooding in a month, that we've got the right people, the right relationships and ready to go.
But as a team on the Gold Coast, we are getting ready. So Gold Coasters, you get ready as well, please. So on the same day, I took the opportunity to launch the Get Ready Gold Coast for people, so people can get on our website and have a checklist of how to get prepared. Next item is the Southern RNA and R&D laboratory launch at Gold Coast Health and Knowledge Precinct. Basically, they came in partnership with Canadian funded Providence Therapeutics, and this is amazing. It's advancing the personalized cancer vaccine. What it is, you might have a cancer that everyone's labelled it, but that cancer might be treated differently because of your body type and your makeup. They've actually done the tailored vaccine specifically for that person. And the person that was there been treated for about 5 years in Gillespie, and he was meant to not survive, and 5 years later he's still going and it's getting better. So it's a bespoke vaccine for each individual. Quite amazing. Safe to Suburb Awards. Our MC was Councillor Fowler and Councillor Tozer, and we had so many other councillors in attendance. Councillor Gates, Lacastra, Doran, Martin, O'Neill, and had the pleasure of attending. And so many wonderful awards. Congratulations to award winners: Fight for Youth, Darwin Hong, Individual Award, Gold Coast Youth Service FOIA Program, and Youth Outreach Group. And the city recognised 40 nominees who worked tirelessly to enhance community and individual safety on the Gold Coast. ANU National Security College meeting. We had two people there from Canberra to they're interviewing various people around Australia to upgrade the security, national security, and I was happy to give them my insight. 2025 Mayor's Christian Prayer Breakfast, attended by Councillor Wilkinson, Tozer, Marshall, and former Council Mayor, Gold Coast Mayor Lex Bell. 270 attendees. It's quite wonderful that the number's grown. We had a humble beginning of in 2015 where there were 15 pastors in attendance. So it's really good. Gold Coast Diving Academy launched. So this is an interesting one. They basically going to be using this our diving platform, and because in LA 28 it's actually open air, and so our diving platform is the best part to train in. And then they're talking to us about another two categories, is high diving and cliff diving, which I'm going to bring back to you. And on the high diving, at first I ask, that's our diving platform. There's 10 meters. The high diving is 27, and I said, are we deep enough? Our pool there, the diving pool. The answer was yes. So that's where the money is, how deep it is, and so it's deep enough. And with my trip with Fort Lauderdale, they done an extended 10 meter dive to 27 to become a high diving destination, and I can go have a look at it, and not sure if I dive off it, but 27 meters, I think I'll delegate that to the CEO, and let him feet first, take it easy, you know, feet first, no problem. And so to test it, and to increase that, we can do it in structural steel, so it's lightweight. I'm confident that we can do it. That means that we can attract World Championship of High Diving. Second one, they said cliff diving. I went, oh, okay. And I saw some photos there. We can actually build a cliff platform at Evandale Lake, because I asked the question, is Evandale Lake deep enough? And the answer is yes. You can remember the days we had a stonefish and we had to empty the lake because it's dangerous to have stonefish there. So I named the fish Sharon. So we moved Sharon Stone one way. Yes, and I don't know. She's gone one-way trip to Townsville University, and because she's very venomous sort of species, that's why we named her Sharon. Anyway, I just thought we'll just have a look at that, because we can make it Viranoid looking if we have a cliff diving there, the backdrop of Gold Coast, and two for the price of one. Maybe we can do a rock climbing on one side, and something like that. You know, I'll get them to bring it to the committee, the appropriate committee, and you have a look at it. National School Sport Australia Triathlon and Aqualon, which is water-based, and we're welcoming 500 students and their family to the Gold Coast for this event, and in March 2026. But we already secured 2026 and 2028 as well. So another event for our aquatic centre. Next one, 9th October, Partnering Impact. So Griffith University 50th Anniversary Leadership Luncheon. I was there, and really remarkable that the Gold Coast is the biggest campus by far, so really Griffiths is our university. Today's show, live broadcast at Tarabudgery Creek. Joined Sarah and Carl. As usual, had a bit of fun. Here's a video.
To rebrand Southeast Queensland as simply Brisbane in the lead up to the 2032 Olympics to maximise the opportunities on the world stage.
Well, it seems like a good idea.
For
well,
some.
who better to ask than Gold Coast Mayor Tom Tate? Tommy, good morning to you.
Tom.
Nice to see you.
How are you?
It's great to be outdoors.
Wow, how
Isn't it
wonderful
great?
is it here?
All these marvellous people everywhere.
Thanks for hosting us. Even
Yes.
the seagulls have come out to see
Loving it, mate.
listen,
They're looking for the bugs.
They're looking
They
for the
are,
bugs, and
they
we've got
are.
a beautiful bug roll
looks
here.
so good.
Here you go, Says.
Oh,
Wrap your laughing gear
I
around
will
that.
in a minute.
I'm not sure when it was made, but we'll get into it anyway.
We need to have a conversation first, but it's
Listen,
so good.
what do you reckon about that rename? It makes sense from an Olympic point of view, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, well, the brand of Brisbane 2032 is crucial to put Brisbane on world stage, and
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
And we're happy to help where we can.
Oh, so you don't mind the Gold Coast
I don't
changing?
mind, but it will still be Gold Coast. It'll be like you want to rename Paris to be Saint-Denis. People go, what the hell's that?
And Paris is very different to Saint-Denis.
Yeah, I'm saying we're the Paris. They're the Saint-Denis.
That's the difference. That's the difference. Very clever,
That's
man.
funny.
Very,
Paris
very
on the
clever.
beach, mate.
Yeah.
You know, the Gold Coast people, and there's a big crowd here, massive crowd
Incredible people.
here this morning, and it's great to see them all.
Yeah.
They're very anxious, so you've got to be very careful
You do.
here about whether or not you want to get re-elected.
No, mate, there's a couple of years to go. It's up to Ruth.
And what will the role will the Goldie be playing?
Well, actually, we'll be co-hosting it. We have 9 sports so far that we'll be doing, and we're building an arena. The good thing is a lot of our facilities already built from the Commonwealth Games, and so we're games ready.
Well, we've also seen as well the extension to the tram, which was so useful during the Commonwealth Games. That'll be up and running by Brisbane 2032?
Yeah, all the way to Burleigh.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
A bit
That is a
disruptive
punish
now, but
if you're
it's a
in
bit
traffic,
disruptive
mate.
now, but
It's an absolute punish. Even driving through at 3 this morning. But that's progress, right?
Yeah.
What do you say to folks and businesses?
I say it's short-term pain and long-term gain. That's what the growth of the city's about. We've got to have an infrastructure, you know.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. And look, we were here earlier in the year. Obviously, Sarah and I were reporting live during Cyclone Alfred.
Yeah.
And it had such a big effect on the beach.
Yeah.
What's the recovery like?
Oh, we've pumped in over 1 million cubic metres, but the main thing is that for people who are thinking to come to the Gold Coast, all the beaches are open, access is safe, it's all fully patrolled. My attitude is during this Christmas holiday, it's our own very Christmas miracle because within 7 months we brought the beach back.
Absolutely. How were the school holidays just gone? Was there...
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
You know, the accommodation is chock-a-block. You walk down the street, the cafe owners are happy. And really, it's fun for the family. The theme parks are full.
Sarah and I stayed at the Mondrian last
Yeah,
night.
it's stunning.
I've got to tell you, one of the best hotels I've
So
ever
gorgeous.
stayed in. They've done it. I don't know who built it. They've done a beautiful fit out and everything. And the staff are great.
Yeah.
We need to have the ability for more construction here, right? We need to get more accommodation built. That's over to you, isn't it?
Yeah,
Big smile on your face
It
there,
is.
Tom.
We've got a crane index. So we've got 76 crane in the sky at the moment.
Wow.
And we've got another 5 five-star hotels to be built, completed before the Olympics. And mate, it's going to be all happening. And really, for those people who want to still go to Tourist Park, we're updating that as well.
Look, I don't know about it. What's your advice to giving the buds
Can you get
to
the
the
seagulls
seagulls?
over?
No. It's
Go
too big
on.
for the seagulls.
That'll be
We want
fine.
some of
They'll
this.
climb into it. They were just made. Here we go.
Yum, yum, yum. Thank you
This
very
is from
much.
Kara Beach House. I can feel it.
You can smell it. It smells amazing.
Yeah.
It's so, so good.
Yeah,
No
thanks,
more for
mate.
the seagulls, Carlos. This has been made for human consumption. Anyway, stay with us on this very special edition of Today. We love you, Australia. We'll be back with plenty more next. Oh, yeah, look at that.
I'm never sick of those hero shots of our city. Anyway, next item then was Filipino Community Council of Australia that had a couple of days at the SeaWorld Resort Main Beach on the 10th October. Then rush back to the Blenders 40th anniversary book launch. Councillor Wilkinson was in attendance, and they sang us some wonderful a cappella music, and was it Heart and Harmony is the book, and I think you can get them out in our libraries. Next one, Screen Industry Sunset Networking Drinks. Councillor Gates, LaCastra, Councillor Tozer were in attendance, and really it's a great place that if you want to meet some vice presidents or some big name, you can walk across the room and go and say hello. And that's what it's about. It's about networking. UQ Monica's League Ball. I went to Brisbane there and gave a keynote speak about Monica's and shared some behind the scene that I had with at the time Prince Charles and Duchess Camilla, and was fun night. And the interesting thing is the Mocus League, when I look around, it's the younger generation. Really good. What we got next is 2026 World Para Series announcement. I joined Paralympic swimmer Alexei Leary and Tom Gallagher, and we've got the 2026 World Para Series, and that's another event for the city. Next one, 13th October, meeting with Deputy Foreign Minister for Foreign Affairs of Greece, and at Burleigh, and discussion about how we got a very strong Greek community here on the Gold Coast. I've got some ideas there which I'll share with you at the close of council. Delivery 2032 Queensland Infrastructure Summit. I joined the Mayor of Rockhampton, Tony Williams there, and CEO of Moreton Bay region, and we discussed about their legacy and infrastructure for the Olympics. Next one, QPS District Disaster Coordination Training. They're having that in Brisbane, so I was speaker there, and give them our insight of how we run our Gold Coast local disaster management, and coordinating with the district disaster coordinators and how we do it on the Gold Coast. Channel 7, Sunrise Beach Restoration Update, and did that. And so the more news I can get out about our beach being restored, average, there's 70 metres of beaches back, right? So fully patrolled, get the word out there so that we'll have a blockbuster Christmas time. Then 20th Australasian Police and Emergency Games launched. It will happen this time next year. Estimate 4,000 competitors of first responder emergency service across Australia, and 70 sports. I was asked if I want to be one of the sport, and they've got powerlifting, and maybe I'll do that, but I kind of like the idea of the axe throwing, so I might have a look at that. The Mayor's Technology Innovation Award, Councillor Doran was in attendance, and do you want to say a few words there, Councillor Doran?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I did this on your behalf last year as well, and it was my first time, but I know it's been a long-standing program held at Bond University. It is a really good reminder as to how talented the next generation coming through are. Some of the ideas that they present are amazing. I will give a shout out to the Robina State High School for second place, but Flood Mesh, three gentlemen on the screen there had a fantastic idea that was really topical, Mr. Mayor. It was about providing infrastructure connected to solar that would report back to base on flooding that would be typically used by a stagnant line marking the depth of the water in that floodway. It's a really good idea and something that can be practical and rolled out. And
yeah. So, Mr. CEO, I said to the winners there that your office can contact them and with our officer, the flood monitoring officer, and see if we can utilise their ideas. Yeah. And if we can, let's do that and help them. Any place around the world that can use their technology. So, Mayor, students, ambassador leadership conversation. What this one is, they sit me on the lounge there and think to relax, but no, they fire very questions, and then I just give my honest answers. And students come from 12 different countries, Australia included, of course, Canada, Brazil, Colombia, Bhutan, Indonesia, India, China, Nepal, South Korea, Vietnam, and Sri Lanka. And these ambassadors are wonderful. That they used social media to share their hometown about their experience on the Gold Coast and help promote international students. Councillors, I move that the Mayor's report be welcome and noted. Second to Councillor Hamill. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carry, unanimous. Council, I try to put that real executive speed, but without appears rushing it, because a lot of those things got to show full respect for that. Clarification, I think there's nil. Business arising from the minutes, nil. Presentation, Norwell Valley Collective to do a presentation. You ready to go? Call them in, please. Councillors, this is commercial in confidence. Councillor, I move that we go into close. Seconder? No seconder. Councillor Castro? Okay, just before I take the vote, Councillor Gates?
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Mayor, but are declarations necessary? Because my understanding is that any presentation forms part of a decision, regardless of whether there's an application or not, and I believe it's necessary to make a declaration prior to going into
Let me check
close.
with Jody. Can you stand up and tell me?
Through the chair, Mr. Mayor, it is potentially participation in the decision-making process, which has a broad definition under the legislation. So I would recommend that declarations are made.
All right.
And there is one existing declaration that resolution that applies to the same.
Okay,
as well.
gentlemen, can you just sit down for a minute? We just do. Okay, anyone got a declaration? Councillor Gates.
Mr. Mayor, I did want to bring to the committee's, the council's attention that on recent occasions when I've stood to make declarations, they have all been outside the relevant term. And on some occasions, the council has not required me to make a declaration. With regard to this particular issue, I actually don't know who's involved in it or what extent of involvement anyone has. However, I have received donations from two of the major businesses in the cane fields, one being obviously W. Heck and Sons, in the amounts of $2,500 in 2014 and 15, and another $1,800 in 2016, and also from A. Keith and Company, Rocky Point Mulching. So, first of all,
let me ask you.
Thank you.
Jody, it's outside the relevant term. Do we need to deal with this?
It's a matter ultimately for Councillor Gates. She can voluntarily declare the potential conflict of interest, but if it is outside the relevant term, technically it doesn't meet the definition of a declarable conflict of interest, but it is still open to her to voluntarily decide to make the declaration.
Mr. Mayor, on this occasion, as long as the councillors are happy with that, I'm satisfied.
It's outside the term, councillors. Let's roll. Keep rolling.
It's just I have no information at all and I've had no input.
That's fine.
So.
Abundance of caution, outside the term. Let's move on. Anyone else want to say anything? No? Oh, Councillor Hamill.
Mr. Mayor, if you wouldn't mind quickly, so I received some advice from the General Counsel in regards to the conflicts I made back in January, that the decision of Council at that time to allow me to participate in this until a report comes to Council, that condition applies to this today. So
okay.
I didn't intend on re-going through those conflicts today. I'll save that for November.
Yeah.
That's when the report comes through.
Yeah. Well, while we're talking about conflict and OIA and all that stuff, before the election, the state government said they're going to deal with it promptly. Right? And it's now 1 year. I guess promptly really falls outside that definition now. And I think maybe because it doesn't affect them personally, even though the then Premier Palaszczuk said that it would apply to all the state members, which they never brought it in. So I appeal to the Premier and the local government minister to hurry up. That's probably succinct, and so that we can move on. And now I invite you to do a presentation. We're going to close. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carry. Councillors, I move the recommendation that's on page 5 of the agenda. That's on the screen. Seconder, Councillor Hamill. Councillor Gates.
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to clarify. The investigation area that was spoken of was purely for an adrenaline precinct. So there was never an investigation area intended for anything other than an adrenaline precinct. I just wanted everyone to be clear on that when that was adopted within the planning scheme, it was with the advice of the then director, who felt that an adrenaline precinct in the Canelands where sporting activities were approved or tourism initiatives, and that was the purpose of it. It was certainly not for a master planned community. So clearly there's been a misunderstanding about that, and I thought it was important for everyone to know.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Doran.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Sorry about this. I should have asked this in more detailed question before and closed, but the presentation notes that it will come back to Council's November meeting. Just want to clarify, that'll be the committee before Council or going straight to Council?
Straight to Council.
Okay.
Want everyone involved.
Still be plenty of time for questions at the Council meeting?
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Anyone else speak against? Put motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against? Motion carried. Where's my... No. Item 10, conflict of interest. 10.1, Councillor Peter Young.
Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have two conflicts of interest to make in relation to the discretionary grants program for this year. The information should be on the board. It is. The first one is in relation to a grant application sought by the Marine Community Garden Association. I'm a personal friend of Mr. Peter Cardona, who's the voluntary chairman of that garden association. They've sought some funds along with 26 other groups. Their funding request is for a barbecue, and I'm seeking Council's permission to participate in this decision because it gives me an ability to overview all of the applications that were made by the community groups and make an appropriate decision about the distribution of those funds. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Hamill.
Mr. Mayor, I reckon if we scroll up a little bit, there's probably an excellent procedural motion. I'd be happy to move that. This is absolutely
on the screen
in nature, and is absolutely a reasonable person would expect that the divisional council for the area would be a part of this, and we look forward to that being continuing on for Councillor Young. Seconder,
Councillor Tozer. Anyone else wants to speak or conflict on this one so they can't vote? Councillor Gates.
Sorry, potentially, Mr. Mayor. I hadn't obviously recognised that these were necessary in order for us to sign off on our conflict of interest declarations in advance of the community grants. But I did email the manager at the time when I was proposing what I was going to allocate. I was able to provide the full funds of everyone who applied this year, but one of those applications came from the Coomera Fishing Club, Coomera Waters Fishing Club, and one of my staff has a family member who's a member of the Coomera Waters Fishing Club. So I wasn't sure whether I needed to make that formal declaration today. I haven't provided one to council support, but I did put it in writing at the time of making my allocations.
Yeah. Councillor Hamill.
Mr. Mayor, and I think the CEO is about to go to General Counsel, but just to put out there, like, I think that is way too many steps removed. That requires a conflict of interest, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion at this stage.
Mr. CEO.
So I have 2 points through you, Mr. Mayor. The first is I understand that, Councillor Young, this is pretty standard. I think there hasn't been a year for some time that you haven't done a declaration like this, not for this specific one, but of this kind. The decision as to whether or not the Councillor Gates has a conflict resides with the councillor. If she feels she wants to declare it, she has every right to declare it. but ultimately that's a matter for the councillor.
I think I've said enough, Mr Mayor. I don't feel conflicted in any way, so
Okay.
I just wanted to be certain of my ground.
All right. So, put to the vote. All in favour, show of hands.
Mayor Tate, Councillor Taylor, Councillor Curtis, Councillor Hemmel, Councillor Fowler, Councillor Gates, Councillor Wilkinson, Councillor Martin, Councillor Castro, Councillor Doran, Councillor Tozer, Councillor Marshall, Councillor O'Neill.
Against? Okay, motion carry, and Councillor Young did not vote. Next item.
Thank you, Mr Mayor and councillors. I have another one very similar, also in relation to the discretionary grants process. I've received, one of the applicants was the Nerang Country Paradise Association, who manage Country Paradise Parklands, and I'm a personal friend of Mr Mark Tierney, who's the voluntary chairman of the Nerang Country Paradise Association. They've sought funds for the replacement of an air conditioner, which I've decided not to fund because they have alternative means, but I am seeking council's permission to participate in that decision and in fact issue a negative to that group because this enables me to give a balanced approach to the 26 applications that were made, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Hamill.
Happy to move the procedural motion, Mr Mayor, so Councillor Young can let that group know they haven't been successful.
Seconder, Councillor Gates. Anyone speak against? Put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands.
Mayor Tate, Councillor Taylor, Councillor Curtis, Councillor Hemmel, Councillor Fowler, Councillor Gates, Councillor Wilkinson, Councillor Martin, Councillor Lacastro, Councillor Doran, Councillor Tozer, Councillor Marshall, Councillor O'Neill.
Against? Motion carried. Councillor Young did not vote. There's no other items there. Councillor Fowler.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and through you, I also just wanted to mention I'm not making a declarable conflict today, but under the advice of General Counsel, I do have a association with Rise Up, and Rise Up are one of the recipients of my discretionary funds today. So I have discussed it and looked at the definitions, and I feel very comfortable that I don't need to make any declaration, but if Council's had any questions for me or wanted me to make a declaration, I can do that.
Okay. All good. Right, Councillor, we go to 11, Planning and Recreation. Why don't we take a 5-minute break? What do you think before we get into it? 5 minutes, we come back at 12:16. This meeting back to in order. I go to Councillor Hamill.
Mr Mayor, I move that the minutes of the 860th Planning Regulation Committee meeting held on Tuesday, 7th of October 2025, covered by recommendations 1 to 8, be received.
Seconder, Councillor Doran. All in favour, show of hands. Against, carried. Councillor Hamill.
Wishful. Mr Mayor, if we could go to item 6.4, please.
6.4, councillors, we're going to.
For a amended recommendation, change recommendation.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr Mayor, there is some words that have been provided to Chamber support on the back of some discussion at committee around acoustic treatments of pool pumps and etc. in the common landscape area, and some questions that Councillor Gates raised around the height of battens on the top level of this building. So Mr Moran has provided me a updated recommendation that picks up on all those issues raised at committee and addresses them through an amended plans provision. So it would require additional acoustic treatment of those pool pumps and those surrounding areas, and means that the battens that were proposed at the top will need to be changed as well.
So that's on the screen.
Should be there, should be there,
Councillor
Mr. Mayor.
Doran. Is that's what's on the screen there?
I think Chamber support's just catching up to us, Mr Mayor.
Can you see it? Oh no. Oh, is that it? Or not? The second one?
It's that part there, Mr Mayor.
In red?
Yep.
Okay. All right. You want to speak on that?
Mr Mayor, no. I think I've outlined it. It is picking up on what was discussed at committee.
Okay.
It addresses those acoustic concerns and the batten concerns. I'm happy to leave that as an opening for now.
Anyone speak against? No. All in favour, show of hands. Division's call.
Mayor Tate, Councillor Young, Councillor Taylor, Councillor Curtis, Councillor Hamill, Councillor Fowler, Councillor Gates, Councillor Wilkinson, Councillor Lacastra, Councillor Doran, Councillor Tozer, Councillor Marshall, Councillor O'Neill.
Against?
Councillor Martin.
Martin.
Could it be noted, please, Mr Mayor?
It's division. It's division. It's really noted. Councillor Fowler.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. 6.5, if possible.
6.5, we're going to, councillors. 6.4 is carried.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I've mentioned it a lot at committee, and a lot of those questions were already answered. However, on further legal advice, I just have a change recommendation to put forward for councillors to consider.
Is that in red?
Yes, so it's just in red. If we can pull up the whole...
Where's the change?
I think it was on the screen prior.
Isn't that red there?
Yes, so just to summarise for councillors who might not have been in the room at committee, we're in the
let
middle...
me get a seconder so I can speak on it. Councillor Gates, go ahead.
We're in the middle of a complex and very emotional legal appeal, as we all know, with New Crush and the Oxenford Quarry in relation to the development application. So what this recommendation is New Crush did apply for a 5-year extension. City officers and councillors at committee deem that to be unreasonable, and as such we're putting forward a 1-year extension further to the conditions that are in this recommendation. So the additional changes that are in point 4 is that when we're talking about the electronic detonation being completed within the first available 3 blasts, it's commencing from the date of authorisation from the CEO. The reason for that is that New Crush don't believe that they can get to doing the digital detonation by the next round. However, as soon as practically possible, they will do that, and they're happy for that to be sequential. So any benefits realised will be realised for the community as soon as possible, which is a good outcome. Could we just stay down? Sorry. Thank you. And the second part is that council will undertake independent monitoring of blasts on a temporary basis by a city-appointed expert at appropriate sensitive receptors. So while I recognise it's not the city's responsibility to monitor blasting, I am very thankful that the city has confirmed that we will do independent blasting for the 3 digital detonations that will be taking place, and that information will be provided to council and the public in transparency for the community. Thank you.
Speaking against motion, Councillor Flower to close. Councillor Flower, you want to close? You want to close?
Sorry, just a correction there. I meant independent monitoring. Sorry. Thank you.
Okay, that'll be your close. All in favour, show of hand. Division.
Mayor Tate, Councillor Young, Councillor Taylor, Councillor Curtis, Councillor Hemmel, Councillor Fowler, Councillor Gates, Councillor Wilkinson, Councillor Lacastra, Councillor Doran, Councillor Tozer, Councillor Marshall, Councillor O'Neill.
Against? Motion carried. Next item.
Sorry, I did not vote, and I was attempting. I have a conflict of interest, so I did not vote in that. I was attending
so
the
we'll
legal
record it.
room.
Did not vote.
So I couldn't get your attention, Mr. Mayor. So I did not vote.
Okay, record it. Did not vote. Yep, it's there. You didn't abstain. You did not vote. Did not vote.
Maybe for the purpose of the minutes, Mr. Mayor will participate in the debate.
No, just did not vote. It's fine. Okay, carried. Any other items? Councillor Hamill.
Mr. Mayor, I move that all remaining recommendations be adopted.
Second to Councillor Doran. All in favour, show of hands. Against? Motion carried. Governance, Administration, Finance. Councillor Martin.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I move that the minutes of the 860 Governance, Administration, Finance Committee held on Tuesday, 7 October 2025, covered by recommendations 1 to 11 be received.
Second to Councillor Wilkinson. All in favour, show of hands. Against? Motion carry. Any item you want to deal separately? Councillor Hamill.
Mr. Mayor, item 7.2 for a change recommendation, please.
7.2, we're going to councillors. Change recommendation.
Mr. Mayor, change recommendation. I've provided that wording to Chamber support, and I'll just wait for it to come up on the screen.
In red?
It is, Mr. Mayor.
Let me see and get a seconder.
Item 7.2 is organisational executive structure, not. But maybe I'm wrong.
Sorry.
7.2 there in red.
Sorry, my bad.
Seconder, anyone to speak on? Councillor Wilkinson. Back to Councillor Hamill to speak on it.
Mr. Mayor, so this is the committee recommendation with a slight adjustment at the end. There was a lot of discussion on this item at committee, and after further discussion with some of my colleagues after the committee meeting before today, I feel like the general feeling is that there's no need for any additional reports on what was in that discussion, and that any further information being sought by any councillor on this matter can be done through an acceptable request to the CEO's office. So number 2 and 3 draw a line in the sand on this matter for now, but as it clearly points out, number 3 does not preclude any councillor from discharging the duty of asking for information through an acceptable request to the CEO's office instead.
Good idea. Anyone against? Do you want to speak against? Close. All in favour, show of hands. Division? Division? Yeah, second, Councillor Wilkinson. Oh, it looks unanimous, so don't worry about division. Unanimous. Any other items? Back to the chair. Oh, Councillor Peter Young.
No change to the motion, but I'm just addressing item 7.1 to alert councillors to the fact that we received an email last night with an alteration to the appendix or the attachment that lists the properties. So I'm looking at the wrong document. So there was an email last night just to advise us from Chamber support to advise us of changes to that, an updated list, and I'm just bringing that to councillors' attention. We don't have a hard copy in front of us, but we've all received that email.
All right. Should we deal? You want to deal with this one separately, or leave it?
I'm happy to move the committee decision.
Oh, okay.
I'll move that committee decision.
Okay. Move. Seconder, Councillor Fowler. Anyone want to speak against? Put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried, unanimous. Any other items separately? Back to Acting Chair.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I move that all the remaining recommendations be adopted.
Second, Councillor Wilkinson. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. 11.3, lifestyle.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the minutes of the 860 Lifestyle, Environment, Heritage and Resilience Committee held on Thursday the 9th of October, covered by recommendations 1 to 5, be received.
Second, Councillor Marshall. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. Any items separately? Councillor Tozer.
item 6.2 separately and move the committee recommendation, Mr Mayor. Quickly speak to it.
6.2 recommendation, committee recommendation. Seconder, Councillor Wilkinson. Back to you, Councillor Tozer.
Mr Mayor, I bring this out just whilst there was a great debate and conversation at committee. It identified, quite importantly, that the city has risen from 7th in the rankings to 5th in the rankings. We're in the right direction, Mr Mayor, and I'm hoping that our continued work in this area of getting everyone active and healthy, people like Councillor Marshall being out there with his nippers and training people on the beach every day, and people like maybe who else can I say? Councillor Castro, Councillor Doran's cricket, and also your powerlifting, Mr Mayor, is clearly inspiring people to get involved in physical activity. And as we approach the Olympics, it's actually really important. We might make a bit of light of it, but I encourage every councillor to lead by example and get out and be active and healthy, so the rest of the city knows how serious we are about getting from 5th up to 1st.
Yeah, and actually from that, Mr CEO, I'd like to see the result, meaning why are we 5th? I want to see how the 4 in front of us, what they got we don't have.
We did, Mr Mayor, we did talk about the people in front of us. It was, if I remember correctly, it was Noosa, Brisbane, Douglas and Sunshine Coast are ahead of us.
What have they got that we don't?
It's a good question. I don't think they have anything other than more active councillors.
Okay, let's...
So that's all I can think of that was a different thing, you know. So
okay,
maybe
well,
we
let's
can all just
check it out because we're going to number 1 councillors.
That's very good, very good.
Okay, all in favour, show of hands. Oh, dear. Against? Carried, unanimous. Any other items separately? Back to the chair.
No, this has been a coke accident over here, Mr Mayor.
That's all right. Councillor Marshall's got it.
It is. I move that all remaining recommendations be adopted. Thank you.
Seconder, Councillor Wilkinson. All in favour, show of hands. Against? Carried, unanimous. Next item, we go to Economic, Tourism and Events.
You can come on, Bill. Mr Mayor, I move the minutes of the 86th of the Economic, Tourism and Events Committee held on Thursday, the 9th of October 2025, covered by recommendation 1.4b for second.
Seconder, Councillor Allen. All in favour, show of hands. Against? Carried. Any items you want to do separately? Councillor Cashel. Second to Councillor Flower. All in favour, show of hands. Against? Unanimous. Thank you, Director. We go now to Water, Waste and Energy. Councillor Curtis.
The enthusiasm. I move the minute, Mr Mayor, I move the minutes of the 860 Water, Waste and Energy Committee meeting held on Tuesday the 14th of October, covered by recommendations 1 to 7 be received.
Councillor Wilkinson, seconder. Any items you want to do separately, Councillor Curtis?
Yes, please, Mr Mayor. I request to open item 7.1 to propose an amendment.
7.1, go ahead.
Happy to second, Mr Mayor.
Seconder, Councillor Hamill. What are we doing there?
Mr Mayor, this item and the tenets of the changes proposed here all relate to an existing contract, and as such, any discussion on commercial matters and budgetary impacts would be required to occur in close. And
Commercial in confidence?
Correct.
Okay, we move into close. Councillor Tozer. Seconder. Councillor Gates. All in favour, show of hands. Against? Motion carries. Streaming. Moving on, let the gallery in. Councillor Curtis, speak on the motion.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. There's just a slight amendment from the committee's recommendation that we approve the allocation of option 3 until such time as a decision is made by full council to add additional funding to this service.
Against? Councillor Doran.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Noting that the contents of the report is on grey paper, but the intent behind it, I can speak to what I believe to be what could be the change to residents, Mr Mayor. I think that the officer's recommendation in the report was understandable and measured, but it's the role of the council to determine what our policies are. The council in the budget of this financial year, councillors, we endorsed a level of service for this particular item that was to carry through the year, Mr Mayor. It was debated at that time what the service was to be. It was resolved and it was carried. At that time, the report outlines that at that time a budget allocation was provided by the city to cover the service. There was no commentary around what would happen in any instance aside from that. The city asked, Mr Mayor, the city asked the community to in the response to Tropical Cyclone Alfred to use FlexiSkip as a way to help us deal with Tropical Cyclone Alfred. We asked them to help us. I think, again, navigating what I can't say, I believe that the officer's recommendation was well-intentioned, watered down a critical services, rates, roads and rubbish. I believe that facts moving ahead is that we have a budget review. This council and councillors make decisions about funding allocations all the time. We will do one today, no doubt. This is about a choice to sustain a service that we endorsed in this budget. Now, yes, it's difficult to spend money, Mr Mayor, I get that. And I think that in my small time here, I've advocated for being restrained in our spending. But this is a core service, and if we're going to change a core service theoretically, it's going to be done during the budget negotiations that then carry forward through there. Through the 18 months in this role relating to waste services, we have made significant changes to it as a council. We've endorsed a cost centre that's moving forward from July next year. We've reviewed the rationalisation of the network, Mr Mayor, relating to waste services, and we've also looked at these types of services. In any of those changes, Mr Mayor, we've not increased the service or reduced the cost. We've done the opposite. I feel like the recommendation that was changed by Councillor Young didn't do anything but say, hang on a second, we acknowledge the city officer's intent behind the report. We have a budget review coming up. Let's review it during that budget review and see if in the interim, Mr Mayor, the city can find offsetting costs that would make it more palatable. And we did note that that's something that could potentially be done. Not to say it's going to happen, Mr Mayor, but it would give me comfort that if we did have to go down this path, we've looked at every option. I think doing this now is a month too early. We can push this off. We can make sure we continue a service that we endorse as a council in the budget, and we can ask city officers to look if they can find other funding pots. I acknowledge it's a grant system. I acknowledge this. I'm not deaf to what was said in the meeting. But there is time before we need to make this decision, and that's what Councillor Young's changed recommendation did. I feel like we should take a breath, look at it again at budget review, and then make an informed decision about whether or not a budget that is as large as this city's can't sustain itself through the next 6 months. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Mr CEO.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Through you, just a couple of points. So, first of all, I acknowledge the councillor's contribution and his and the way he put it in terms of the respect for the city officers. I guess I would just make a couple of points. the first point I would make is that, yes, we did put this service in the budget, but we also put a budget line next to it. And we were very clear at the time that this was this service would be run. And whenever anything goes in the budget, there's two lines. There's the item and then there's the amount of money that's budgeted. It would have been incredibly reckless for the city administration to allow this to to continue without at least bringing it to the attention of council. And I acknowledge that that's what Councillor Duran said. The second point I would raise is that look, the city has no issue whatsoever with a city administration. Of course, it's the councillor's role to endorse whether or not services go ahead or not. But there will have to be a reckoning. We're not going to be able to find this money from a hollow log somewhere. And that means that we are going to have to look at services across the city that will have to be turned off or wait areas where we were planning to spend money in order to do this. The last point I would make is just a general point about the service, and we have in fact over-delivered on the service that was promised in the budget, as evidenced by the fact that we are some 18% over. In the month last year, it was around 70% over what the previous service has been in other years. So I think we just have to be prudent in this space. We have to acknowledge that it is just untenable to have the service run with a blank cheque, and that was the purpose of the recommendation put by officers. And again, city administration, of course, has no issue whatsoever with council deciding to change those priorities, but priorities will have to change in order to implement an unfettered solution for the rest of the year.
Okay. Councillor Curtis to close.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do believe that this minor amendment represents a sensible and measured approach to budget management, and it introduces a safety net to ensure that all residents retain a level of service throughout the financial year. I'd also like to highlight that the current budget allocation remains its highest allocation for all previous budget years, and so nothing about the situation here demonstrates a dip in service, rather a surge in demand that needs to be managed sensibly. I think the amendment achieves that, and I hope all my colleagues will agree.
Okay. Is there a procedural motion?
No, I was trying to ask a question before it closed, Mr. Mayor, before debate closed.
Put you to the vote. All in favour, show of hands. Divisions call.
Mayor Tate, Councillor Young, Councillor Taylor, Councillor Curtis, Councillor Hemmel, Councillor Wilkinson, Councillor Tozer, Councillor O'Neill.
Against?
Councillor Fowler, Councillor Gates, Councillor Martin, Councillor LaCastra, Councillor Doran, Councillor Marshall.
Motion carried. Next item, anyone else? Councillor Curtis?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that all remaining recommendations be adopted.
Second, Councillor Wilkinson. All in favour, show of hands. Against? Carried. Unanimous. We'll go to Transport Infrastructure. Councillor Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the minutes of the 860 Transport and Infrastructure Committee meeting held on Tuesday, the 14th of October 2025, covered by recommendations 1 to 6, be received.
Second, Councillor Gates. All in favour, show of hands. Against? Motion carry. Any items to deal separately? Councillor Taylor.
6.2 to move.
We go to 6.2. What do you want to do there?
Just move it and talk to it. Thank you.
Moved. Seconder. Councillor Peter Young.
Yes.
All right, speak on it.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to highlight the good work that's been done in this space. I know we mentioned it earlier in the Mayor's report. Since the cyclone, we've had some challenging times with Mother Nature. I think there was something like 26 weeks of high tides and high swells on the East Coast. And the work that's been done over the period of time has not only just started to improve the beaches, but during that period of those king tides, it actually helped protect the foreshore for a long period of time. We have some of our beaches that are recovering really well. There's others that need a lot more work. But as highlighted earlier today, it's important to know for everyone that the beaches are open, our lifeguards are out there. Our number one was make safe, and then it was also accessibility to the beaches. I know the Southport Surf Club was one of the most impacted areas for surf clubs and scarping, and the officers worked really close to the club to make sure that this summer that beach is open as well. So I just want to thank the team, the great work that's been done so far, but we know there's a lot more work to be done.
Very good. Against anyone? Do you want to close? Put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried, unanimous. Any other items separately? Councillor Taylor?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I move that all remaining recommendations be adopted.
Seconder, Councillor Gates. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. Consideration notice of motion, nil. Question on notice, nil. Presentation petition, Councillor Marshall.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I move that the petition to address community safety concerns regarding illegal camping in the Broadbeach Cultural Centre car park be received and referred to a committee for consideration and report.
Okay, second to Councillor O'Neill. Put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. Councillor Martin.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. I move that the petition requesting that Council conduct a road safety audit on 19th Avenue corridor in Palm Beach be received and referred to a committee for consideration and report.
Seconder, Councillor Tozer. Put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, carried. Councillor Taylor.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I move that the petition to expedite the release and implementation of the Broadbeach Foreshore Land Management to extend the designated beach sport area be received and referred to committee for consideration and report.
Seconder, Councillor Tozer. Put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. General business, Councillor Tozer.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I have a general business item which is on the screen. Would you like me to read it out, or are you happy for it to be taken as
No,
read?
it's on the screen. No problem. I'll get a seconder.
Please.
Seconder, Councillor Taylor. Speak on it.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. The area in Austinville Road near the Austinville Waterhole is quite a significant traffic hazard, and there is some ongoing work to activate the Austinville Waterhole and surrounding areas as a nature-based tourism prospect. This general business item proposes to accelerate some of the work around bringing a report back to the Transport Committee about the closure of that road, or in fact initially a temporary road closure, in order to move the project forward. At the moment, as we're heading into this coming summer season, that road closure will be critically important just to keep people safe as they try to find cool places to recreate that aren't on the beach, and this is one of those places, Mr Mayor.
Okay. Anyone speak against? Do you want to close? Put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. Other business, councillors, I move the procedure motion that 16.1 be moved to next council meeting because it's not urgent and it's going to take a while. All right, second, Councillor Doran. Put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. 16.2, CEO.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Councillors would be aware that the state government is currently seeking to pass legislation in relation to vaping in the Queensland Parliament. Councils around South East Queensland and in fact Queensland more broadly are looking at their local laws in response to this change. The purpose of this paper is very simple. It simply gives us the authority and the position to go ahead and have a look at what local laws might need to be changed to reflect those changes that are happening in the Queensland Parliament at the moment. And I note that it's here. Okay. Given that it couldn't get through GAF.
All right, move Councillor Peter Young. Second, Councillor Wilkinson. Speaking against, put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. 16.3, Queensland Audit Office Interim Report. I'll move that. Second, Councillor Peter Young. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. 16.4, Control Entities Proposed Interim Review. Mr CEO?
Yes, this is a pretty straightforward one as well, Mr Mayor, through you. So given that the entities have now been in place either 2 years or 1 year, a very simple desktop review is proposed in order to make sure that they've settled in and that work is going well. It's been initiated by the entities themselves working with the city administration. We do not expect there to be significant change. It's just good governance now that they've been in place to have a look at their makeup and make sure that they are on track.
All right. Question, Councillor Gates.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. So through you to the CEO, will that involve talking with the board members to see that it's all working effectively as far as they're concerned?
Mr. CEO?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So what's intended is that the CEOs and including myself and our officers in Paul's team will get together, we'll have a discussion, we'll make some recommendations, we'll go to each board, get their feedback, and then we'll come back to council. And I've informed the chairs of each of the entities and, in fact, the one board that we've had between there that that's what we're going to do.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Martin?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Just a query through you to the CEO. Just wondering if the discretionary fund and I think the arts fund would be part of that holistic review.
Through you, so we're not going for holistic review. Through this minor review, yes, I'm confident that they will come up in discussion.
All right, Councillor Tozer?
No more questions. I'll move the item.
Moved. I'll second it. Aye? A question, Councillor Young.
Mr. Mayor, thanks.
I'll second that motion.
I noted in the report there's an intention to look at the commercial leasing and so forth. I thought that we were going to have these entities come into CARP.
Mr. CEO?
Through you, that is certainly a possibility, but no final decision has been made on that yet. But that's the kind of discussion we want to have, Councillor.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, all right. You speak on it? No. Put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. 16.5, presentation control entity financial statement. Mr. CEO?
Very standard paper required as a requirement under the Queensland Audit Act.
Move, Councillor Tozer. Seconder, Tate. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried. 16.6, Mr. CEO?
It's like being at the gym. Right, so this is 16.6 is the structural change. This is consistent with what was discussed during the budget period last year. It is the standard. It is a requirement under the Local Government Act that this body approves the high-level structure. That work is now done and waiting on this board to tick it at this committee, this council to tick it off so that we can implement.
Move, Councillor Young. Second, Councillor Tozer. Councillor Young, you no need to speak. Okay. Put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, carry unanimous. 16.7. Question.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Noting it's on grade, but I'll ask high level. Through you, Mr. Mayor, I don't know if I can ask it. Sorry,
to be quick
one, just to be careful, yes, please. I'll move to close.
You move to close?
Yes, please.
Second, Councillor Wilkinson. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carries. On gallery in. Right. Move the motion. Councillor Tozer. Second, Councillor Gates. Councillor Tozer, you want to speak on that? Put the motion to you. All in favour, show of hands. Against, carried, unanimous. 16.8. Mr. CEO?
Yes. Noting we're in open, this is also on the grade. I can do no more than really read out what the recommendations are, other than to say it's a.
Okay, the recommendations on the screen. Councillors, anyone move the motion? Move. Thank you, Councillor Gates. Seconder, Councillor Hamill. Anyone speak on it? Councillor Gates to close. Okay. All in favour, show of hands. Against, motion carried, unanimous. Meeting closed, 12:56.